Leyla, played by Roxy Shahidi, was left devastated when her friend and Emmerdale newcomer, Susie Merton, Martell Edinburgh, cut her off from the dealers who were supplying them with cocaine. Although Vanessa Woodfield's, Michelle Harwick, girlfriend wants a calmer life, Leyla wants to continue taking drugs and naively thinks her family won't notice. However, in next week's episodes of the ITV soap, her addiction gets out of control, and with Liam Kavanagh, Johnny McPherson, becoming concerned about her, it seems she could be taking her habit to the extreme. The drama continues as Leyla manages to get in contact with a dealer, who supplies her with the cocaine she needs to get through the day. Having taken a line of drugs before breakfast, it seems she is unable to keep control of her body's reflexes to the substances running through her system. Knowing his wife has been struggling with finding some energy recently, Liam's suspicions are raised when Leyla is so alert. However, the high doesn't last for too long, and as she is beginning her interview with a journalist, she starts to feel unwell. Susie, who has to become concerned by her friend's behavior, is horrified to discover cocaine in her bag and doesn't hold back in letting Leyla know what she thinks. Ripping into the businesswoman, Susie explains how dangerous it is to buy these types of drugs from an unknown dealer. The newcomer delivers a few more home truths to her friend before storming out of the take-a-vow office, leaving Leyla with a bag of cocaine. With Leyla in no fit state to do anything, let alone take drugs, she ends up washing the rest of the substances down the sink. As she adopts a new mindset after a good talking to from Susie, Leyla decides this is the time for her to make a fresh start and put her partying days behind her. However, the change will not happen immediately, as in later scenes, she is struggling to hold it together around her loved ones. When her son Jacob Gallagher, Joe Warren Plant, turns up at her home wanting to talk university plans, she is extremely ropey. The beloved villager tries to act normal, but her medical professional of a husband is not convinced by her poker face. He clearly knows something is up as his wife doesn't look well at all, but he puts it down to post-traumatic stress disorder. Liam believes everything he and his wife had to endure at the hands of Meena Jutla, Paige Sandhu, has caused Leyla some deep trauma. Even though he is concerned about her, he lets her go to take a vow where everyone is in high spirits following the success of the magazine campaign. Leyla continues to feel extremely queasy, and it's clear she is not coping with what the drugs have been doing to her. It could be the amount of cocaine she has been taking is starting to have an impact on her body, and her organs are starting to shut down. With only Susie aware of her drug habit, most of the village would rule it out as the character having an off day and she should go home and rest. Unfortunately, this is where Leyla could collapse, as she is unable to keep up the pretense any longer. As no one is home to help her, the beloved villager could die at home, and it could be Liam who discovers her body when he returns home. How well do you know your British soaps? How many times has Ian Beale been married in EastEnders? What is the name of Bianca Jackson and Ricky Butcher's son on EastEnders? On EastEnders in 2002, who accidentally ran Jamie Mitchell over in his car, which caused his death? How many times has Corey's Steve MacDonald been married? What happened to Emily Bishop in Coronation Street? Who murdered Maxine Peacock in Coronation Street in 2003? Which incident in 1993 killed off 4 characters in Emmerdale? When did the show stop being known as Emmerdale Farm? On what day did Hollyoaks air its first episode? What was the name of the much-loved Coronation Street pet dog who was put down in April 2020 after 14 years? 1996 saw the arrival of one of Hollyoaks' all-time bad boys and rival of Kurt Benson. But who is he? Who is the longest-serving character on Coronation Street? Who shot Phil in EastEnders? How many fires have there been at Corey's Rover's return? Get out of my pub, you're no soaps fan. You're either too young to remember the big lines or have better things to do on weekday evenings. Casual viewer, you watch them sometimes so you kinda know what's been going on. Die Hard fan, you love watching the soaps so much your entire week is planned around when they air. When the investigation begins into Leyla's death, Liam will want answers, unaware his wife's drug habit was what caused her exit from the show. Susie would be feeling immense guilt as she would feel responsible for getting the deceased hooked on the drugs in the first place. Not wanting to harbor any more secrets, the newcomer could explain to Liam what really happened to his other half. He would refuse to believe it at first, but toxicology reports could confirm Leyla had traces of cocaine in her system from the other day. Furious, he would want Susie to tell him the whole truth, but will he blame her for his wife's death or will he rule it as an unfortunate accident? It's been teased already. This latest storyline is going to be a difficult one for Leyla and her loved ones in the village. The actress who plays Leyla, Roxy, has spoken about how she thought her secret would never come out, but Susie's arrival in the village messed everything up. Roxy explained, "It's almost like your mistress and your wife being in the same room. With the proximity of Susie, she feels she's closer to being caught or exposed, whereas when what she did with Susie was safely tucked away and separate, she could compartmentalize that. But with Susie being in her home, in her local, sat talking to her husband, she feels she's going to be less able to do that," she continued. But will her death be the moment everything is revealed?